Hey DMs, are you looking for something to up your game, to make it more interesting, more immersive, to bring your players into it mentally? Then look no further, because I gotta tell you, Wally DM's Journal of Puzzle Encounters is the solution to your puzzles.
I know more than you.
Okay guys, unlike a lot of unboxings, I'm not going to show you each page of this book. In fact, I'm not going to show you any of them. And if you're a player and you never DM games, then turn this video off. Wait, give it a thumbs up first and then turn it off. This video is exclusively for DMs and GMs, game masters, dungeon masters, narrators, referees, and storytellers. This book is wonderful, and it was made by a friend of mine. Wally is an incredibly awesome guy, and he has poured over bunches of ideas from his decades of gaming experience. He has collaborated and play tested with his patrons, and now he has this book out. And the puzzle encounters in this book, there are 60 of them, which is crazy. That's so much bang for your buck, right? If you were to do one of these each gaming session, that would last you for a really long time. But what I like about this book is that it takes all of these great ideas and shares them in a very DM and GM friendly fashion. Here's what I mean. Each one of the puzzles in this book has the same kind of formatting, so that as you go through the book, you become familiar with how to implement them in your games. Okay, and the formatting is one of the things I like, just one of the things, but let me kind of share the idea. First of all, it describes the type of puzzle. Then it talks about the location, and these are suggested locations. Then there's a question about whether it's a multi-room puzzle, yes or no. So some puzzles might be restricted to one location, others might extend throughout an adventure in a specific locale. Then the difficulty of the puzzle, and then suggestions of how you can combine this puzzle with other puzzles found in the book. All of those are consistently there with each one of the puzzles in this book. What I like here is that he then goes on to describe the keys to the puzzle itself, the solution to the puzzle, as well as hints. Because we all know sometimes as a DM you put together a challenge, a non-combat and challenge, and you think it's genius and you put all this time into it, and the players just can't solve the puzzle you've made or the encounter or problem that you've created. And maybe it's too difficult, or maybe they're just mentally not there and they're not, into it enough and they haven't figured out what you want them to figure out. So I think it's really cool that Wally includes hints in here. So you don't have to just let them get past the encounter or the problem or the puzzle. You could kind of feed them hints creatively. The solution, in some cases they talk about multiple solutions, right? Which is great because then it gives the player some agency. There isn't just one way to solve this. And then the make it your own. Now the make it your own is something I really like for a couple reasons. Number one, I think every DM, GM likes to put their own spin on some published content, and this allows you to do that. It gives you suggestions for how you can make these puzzles your own. I think the other reason too is because it gives you some longevity. You could use, I'm just gonna open to a random page without looking, you could use Forest Maze, which is an actual thing on page 24 of the book, and by making it your own, you could kind of rename it, remap it, but use the same core essential items and get longevity out of this. In other words, you could use it several times or with different groups without it being exactly the same. That is awesome. That's how everything should be designed. If more source books and adventure paths and adventure modules were designed that way, I feel like I would incorporate that a lot more. And that's what I love about this. Now, this uses, and it's published under the Open Gaming License, but I don't think it's restricted to any specific game or edition of games. i.e., if you are a 5th edition gamer, you'll be able to incorporate these things. But the same could be said about 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 1st edition. If you're some kind of OSR, old school, Beckme, Lamentations, whatever the game system that you play, you could use these. Now wait, here's the other thing that I'm going to add, my personal spin to this. I think that there are a lot of these puzzles in here that I could incorporate into non-fantasy gaming situations. Oh yeah, yes you can. Because I was thinking about some of these for Cthulhu, for Monster of the Week, for even with some slight tweaking, for science fiction or post-apocalyptic games. And as if that wasn't enough, then towards the end there's an Appendix A, weird dungeon rooms, okay? So not only do you have puzzles, but then there's all these ideas and a table that you could roll on of 100 different weird dungeon rooms, which in and of themselves are, each one of those are an idea or a potential puzzle or just a potential way to improve your game or spice things up a little bit. Love it, absolutely love it. Then he has an Appendix B of magic items, and you know, who doesn't need some more diversity in your magic items? And these are cool. They have great descriptions, and it's not really like, one that made me laugh out loud was Barrel's bag of socks. Like, that's not going to ruin your game, but it might be fun. You know, some of these are just about having fun. Appendix C, Easter eggs. Nice little homage of a bunch of cool little things here that you could do. Appendix D, creating your own puzzles. So not only does Wally provide you with a whole bunch of cool puzzles, he helps you to think about making your own. And on the last Appendix E are a set of keys. This is basically a visual aid to use with some of these puzzles. And sometimes, you know, puzzles can lead to opportunities to use props in your game. You know, the occasional prop in the game kind of helps out. I'm not saying everybody has to dress up, but sometimes it's cool to like whip out, the DM pulls something out and you have to like figure it out, right? So this book is amazing. Go out and buy it right now and support Wally D, because Wally is a guy, I'm gonna tell you a quick story before I end this video. Here's a guy who has decades of experience, who has a great supportive Patreon community and YouTube community that's supporting him. And here's a guy who I met at Gen Con a couple years ago, who walked into a private party, and I saw him and I recognized him and he recognized me, and it was like, even though we'd never met face to face, I was like, this dude is awesome. And then we had drinks and you know, got to meet everybody else, but Wally's awesome, and this book is awesome. And if you're a DM or a GM, you should go out and buy this. When people talk about, I need more ideas for how to make my game more interesting, this is it. And it's affordable. So go find it, go buy it. Peace out. We'll see you on the next one. You don't see this shit, do you?
You're vibrant.
Yes or no? Do you?
Yeah.
You do see it?
Yeah.
Help make your game more than just rolling dice and killing stuff? Then look no further. You need Wally DM's Puzzle of Encounters. Son of a bitch, I got to do it again. Because I have to tell you about Wally DM's Journal of Journal of Puzzle Encounters. Here we go. Wally DM's Journal of Puzzle Encounters.
Well, hello, it's me, Wizzy. I'm back once again to remind you to subscribe and click on the notifications button, and also watch videos that are over there. And then don't forget to tune in to the next episode of whatever show you are just watching, and crafting videos and DM tips and pro tips for vlogging and all sorts of gaming things. And also, you could watch Bill eat food and watch other shows featuring Bill. He made me say that because he's a narcissist. Okay, bye.